another lesson. Are you ready? We're going to get into rhythmic fun and some of the different ways of dealing with rhythm that Unify gives you that are really, really cool and crazy powerful. To start with, we're going to use MIDIBox and first talk about MIDIBox's ability to play rhythmic MIDI files as polyphonic chords, so you can play even crazier stuff than just one note. And to show how to do this, I'm going to call up the patch pluck. I got it in the list, but let's come down here so you see it. Pluck Dream Harp MM. And we're going to go over to our sequencer and make this go away. And we're going to sequence two measures of a little pattern. And I'm going to hit Q to quantize, and then I'm going to select all except the first note, and I'm going to bring down the strength to like maybe 70%. The reason I do this is the first note needs to at least be at 1.1.1. And that's at 1.1.1. If it's before 1.1, then the MIDI file won't play it. Also, make sure you're aware that at the end, the last MIDI file isn't like this, where it's like between 2 and leaning into 3. If you do that, it makes a 3 measure MIDI file, and 1 measure is silent. So if you do a little policing before you export as MIDI, and let's call this, we'll just keep it Dream Pluck. Let's go like this. Go to the name tool and say Dream Pluck 1. Mega Magic. So if I go to Logic and I go export under file, I'm in the wrong place. Export this as a MIDI file. Let's see if we go to the libraries folder. I'm going to include this with these tutorials. So I'm going to put this into the libraries folder where I save it. Wherever you save it, just don't move it after you've saved it, because patches that look to MIDI files, if you move the MIDI file somewhere else, the MIDIBox can't access those MIDI files anymore. So let's go to library, to 6 lessons videos. I don't have a MIDI files folder yet. So we go new folder, MIDI in large caps, and then capital F, then small caps ILES, MIDI files, and we can name this Dream Harp 1. And so we have, right? Now I'm going to mute this MIDI file for the moment, and let's go back to Unify. And to get this to work, I'm going to use the MIDI effect, little plus right there, and go over here to MIDIBox, and then go to my list and say 6 lessons video, click, and double click Dream Harp 1. And now, whatever is MIDI C, middle C, that's what it's going to play. So if you play D or something, you would use the transpose. And if you go to layer, new instrument, this gives you a sine wave. So if we open up MIDIBox, there. So let's delete this second layer now. Now, it's a MIDI file, and if I set this to play only, then it would only play. So wherever I play on the keyboard, it's the same. Well, we can set this to key transpose, and now but it's even cooler if you change it to poly transpose. This is unique to Unify. I don't know any other plugins where you can do this, where you can play. Isn't that cool? Now, if I want, let's make a second rhythm to make this even a little bit more interesting. If I wanted, I could stop right there. I could go to strings and add the strings as a new layer and turn it down so it's nice and... let's say we want a different rhythm for like the chorus or something like that. So let's do this.